So we can be honest right here. Luka Doncic to the Lakers is one of the most odd trades we have ever seen. It is. It is legitimately one of the craziest trades that has ever been seen in basketball history. It really is. But we got to also talk about the fact that this is going to see Luka Doncic at another level. Like, the one, I will always say this when it comes to Luka, is when Luka is comfortable, once he became an all NBA player, he's gone and made the finals, he's like, when he just knows he's better than everybody else, doesn't really have a point to prove, that's where we can kind of see Luka sometimes coast a little bit. When Luka has a point to prove, Luka's one of the best big game players in the history of the NBA. He is. And the reality of why they traded him is that Luka is eligible for a Supermax. They didn't want to pay him the Supermax. The Dallas Mavericks believed that Luka Doncic, you were never going to win a championship with Luka Doncic. Although, let's just say hypothetically, the Celtics somehow didn't win in the East last year, and they blew the series against the Pacers after losing game one. The Pacers somehow made the finals. He would be an NBA champion. They did not think they could win with Luka Doncic. And they just wanted to get off him. Luka's been really good this year. If Mark Cuban was there, this does not happen. But we're going to see a new animal in Luka Doncic. The Luka Doncic we are going to see is it's going to be a complete Luka. It's going to be a different man than we've ever seen. The Luka Doncic we are going to be watching, I can guarantee you, is going to be, we're going to see prime Luka again. We're going to see absolutely prime Luka. He was given a terrible supporting cast. And he dragged them for years. I will admit the supporting cast last year, but he had an awful supporting cast and he carried them. He absolutely carried them. And I understand again, Jalen Brunson in hindsight was good, but he carried that team. He absolutely did. And now we have got the Luka fella, who is going to be a different animal. And I'm telling you, there is, supposedly the goal is for him to make the play before the All-Star break. This man's going to try to win a championship very soon. You've now got a hungry Luka. And I literally hungry Luka, because by the look of him, he's hungry quite a lot. You have now got a Luka Doncic with something to play for. If you've ever watched Luka Doncic, the shape that he gets into to play for Slovenia, if you've ever watched Luka Doncic back in the day, the shape he got into to play for Real Madrid, what Luka Doncic will do when he really wants to be somewhere, and it's not that he didn't want to be in Dallas, it's that, in fairness, he got comfortable in Dallas. He got comfortable. This is the first time in Wonder Boy's life that something hasn't gone his way. He went exactly where he wanted to go in the draft. He went to the exact team he wanted to go to. And not only that, he became an all-star, superstar, got them to the finals, was one step away from doing it all, from being the greatest Mav of all time. And he was on track to be the greatest player in his franchise history, and they got rid of him. This goes one of two ways, and Luka is too much of a competitor for it to go the way of he eats his way out of the league. He could eat his way out of the league, or we could see Luka. Skinny Luka is never going to be a thing. You don't want skinny Luka because of how much he uses his size. But you just want the Luka you want 2022 Luka. That for me is prime Luka. Is the 2022 Luka. Last year's regular season Luka, before his knees just stopped working. Because he doesn't run particularly fast. He doesn't jump particularly high. He has an understanding of basketball that might be greater than that of Jokic. And he uses his body better than any guard in the history of the sport. Like, Luka Doncic still has top 15 all-time potential. And now he's with the Lakers. He's with the Lakers. This is a guy who, if nothing else, revenge is going to motivate him. Honestly. Like, if nothing else is going to motivate Luka, freaking revenge will. Revenge will. Because his whole, like, he was happy in Texas. He was happy in Dallas. And then the Dallas Mavericks just got rid of him. And I actually think a lot of the reason of their frustration is the fact that Luka Doncic played in the Olympic qualifiers. Luka Doncic did not allow himself to get healthy over the summer because he refused to not play for his country. I think that's where a lot of this is coming from. Because the stuff with his knees is like, it's just something that looks like it'll heal. When it heals, it heals. And then immediately, like, Luka gets traded and suddenly it's, oh, Luka's the heaviest he's ever been. We heard that about Zion, by the way. We heard Zion was eating his way out of the NBA. Zion's in the best shape he's ever been in his life. So teams lie. Teams lie. People lie. And I can see Luka Doncic being an absolute force for this Lakers team. By the way, I don't see them doing great with him and LeBron. But I see him next season, Revenge Tour MVP. And that is the narrative needed. That will be the narrative for Luka to win MVP. Revenge Tour MVP. Get Lakers to the 5th seed with a weakish LeBron James. Just anyone a center. You don't even need Miles Turner. Like, I'm just looking for a... Heck, he could probably turn Jackson Hayes into a player. Because Hayes is at least athletic enough. He might turn Christian Coloco into a player. Like, that's the thing with Luka. Is there are specific type of players. Your spot-up shooters and your rim-running bigs, he will help them. He'll help them. Without question. One thing is, though, Lakers got no defense. The Lakers are in no shape whatsoever to play defense. And they're not going to play defense. They replaced their realistically only good defender with maybe the only defender at that size worse than LeBron. No. Who am I kidding? Like, when Luka wants to be, he's a fine defender. He's not the worst defender. He just can't guard guards. He's actually not the worst defender in the world. You can put him in pick and rolls and target him, but like, you can do that to most players in the league. But yeah, like, we're gonna see a new freaking Luka Doncic next season. We're gonna see a man possessed, I think, and I would be shocked if we don't see Luka Doncic back as an All-NBA first team member. It goes one of two ways: either Luka Doncic becomes an MVP in the next 2 seasons, or Luka Doncic eats his way out of the league. If it turns out that he eats his way out of the league, I will make a complete apology video calling Luka a fraud. I think he's going to win an MVP before he's done. I'm more confident now because he's with the freaking Lakers. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.